Don't overpeak.
Oh my god.
Mystery solved.
They res her, dude.
Knock one.
Nice.
Full kill one. Oh, right the fuck, he's right in front of me. Knocked him. Fuck. Knock one.
Tango located. Black ink
Trying to get
obscures
into
all.
position.
Full kill.
Yep.
Bro, there's a plate here. Oh, what are you doing?
Black ink
I,
obscures
oh, he was a player. I told you I heard something.
Enemy
I'm watching the door. I'm watching the main entrance here. Gear set?
I don't know. Yeah, it's gear sub. Teammate's still alive. I'm scanning now.
Light and dark. Paths are
Yeah, one more. Level. Push it. Wipe out, wipe out. Oh. Hey guys, my name is Jay Snubbles. I am a Twitch streamer and a VTuber that plays Delta Force pretty much every day. Anyways, today we're going to be talking about my favorite build that I'd use every single day to make millions and millions of currency in Delta Force operations. However, when you use gear sets, the issues I have with these gear sets is that some of these weapons are not well optimized and there might be a lack of control or handling speed and sometimes lack of healing. That there is some items here that I sometimes find it hard to justify why they're not all consistent. Sometimes I would prefer to have a pack of a V flag, for example, a V flag, and also an enhanced injector together. Why having those two together than having two V flag? Well, if you don't know, enhanced injectors take less than 4 seconds to use, and this is very great when you're fighting against an enemy. The last thing you want is to take forever healing with your V flag. If you get shot and your health is less than 40 or 50, you will soon realize that this will take 15 seconds to use, and you can't be doing that mid-fight because honestly, when you're injured and someone knows they hit you hard, they'll start walking closer and closer, and eventually they'll get close enough to beam you completely. That's why sometimes the items that comes with the chest rigs or backpacks doesn't really justify it, especially the helmet and the vest. These are actually broken. They're not brand new. And let me explain why I prefer broken rather than brand new. If you look at this golden one, this one costs about 231k. That's a lot of money. And if you die with this brand new helmet, chances are your enemy can still repair it because it's brand new. However, when you buy a damaged one, not only is it usually more than half the price of its value, but it's also something that your enemy can't really fix. Sometimes your enemy want to fix better armor, but since this is already damaged, let's say they don't really have the proper fixing ability, they can actually lose the value of the helmet. If you have like golden fix repair kit, you can probably still fix it a little bit, but you're not going to get a lot of shelf life out of it. And that's kind of the purpose of it. You don't want to buy brand new stuff and get beaten by a really good player and you give them all your good stuff to them. This has happened to me countless of times where I felt I had so much money. I just started buying brand new helmets, brand new vests, and look at these stuff thing gets so expensive, and you will not be surprised how much you wasting money, especially with the helmet and the chest rig. You're looking almost like 600k for your build. You don't need to be spending that much money. You just need something that can get you through your run and you'll be just a-okay. The blue one that has hearing effects. If you guys don't know what hearing effects is, let me show it to you guys. As you guys can see here, there is headphone effects. I call it hearing effects, it's the same difference. But essentially the headphone effects has something that makes these helmets stand out. There's higher tiers with headphone effects as well, but this one's the lowest one you can get, the very cheapest one that has an effect to it. The reason why you want to have a helmet with these effects is because there's a lot of ambience in the game. When you're walking, you can hear grass moving, you can hear the sound of your footsteps, you can hear if you step on glass, you hear glass, you can hear the wind blowing, you can hear NPCs talking, and of course, gunshots when someone enemy shoots or NPC shoots. It's so loud. You have to tell the difference between the audios that's going on at a distance and right in front of you. That's why I prefer to have this blue helmet because it's not only the cheapest tier with the headphone effect, but it also helps me to tell the different audios going on around me. You have to understand that operators and NPCs make different noises. NPCs typically just walk in a vertical and horizontal line. That means they have a straight path where they're never climbing, they're never breaking glass, they're never shooting without a reason. And if they spot someone, they're usually running or they're usually talking a lot. That's only when an NPC, it's typically do its thing. However, operators they have a lot of different audios that you can tell the difference between NPC. One way you can tell is that operators tend to spook the NPC and the NPC starts talking. That's when you know when there's someone nearby. Operators, when they climb up a ladder, you can actually hear the climbing animation. You can hear operators when they jump on something or they fall on something. So there's like a little like thud noise that you can tell the audio that hey, that's a player. Operators sometimes they when they run a lot, their player become exhausted and they make the like out of breath sound. So you can actually tell there's an operator right next to you. And having this headphone is really good because I've been in so many situations where I was so lost and confused. I was like, what is that noise? And then I seen the actual like operator because of the helmet and the audio just helped me so much to tell the difference between wearing a non-helmet that doesn't help out. And you can tell the difference too when you wear this helmet compared to another helmet without hearing effects. Yeah, it's day and night difference. Blue vest, right? We're looking at the blue vest. This is damage. Brand new one, like I said, will cost you 32k. While the broken one costs us 21k. You save about 9k. Sometimes the prices and fluctuates, but usually between 9 to 11k you're saving money. And that's where you want it to be. The reason why I didn't went with this universal tactical vest is because this one I feel like it doesn't really help prevent from blue bullets. Blue bullets are much more common than you actually think they are, especially if you're doing on rank. Rarely you'll see people use gold bullets in these type of game modes, but there's people who use it and yeah, it makes people upset. But like I said, you don't need to be spending tons of money on ammo because if you're doing zero dam on rank on easy mode, you're just taking bullets that can get you through the game and you should not be crying about it. But that's why I picked this standard one. Not only is it cheaper, and sometimes this prices between these two are relatively very close. Sometimes this one is same price as this standard issue. However, they have different effects on it. This only has one negative armor effect, and the other one does have two of them. See, two negative effects on your character. That's why I kind of just simply went with this one. It's cheaper and it has less negative effects on you. So that's kind of why I picked this one compared to these other big boys. Because yeah, these ones are much more heavier and you want to be as light as possible so you can fly, baby, so you can fly. I love the car 15 and anyone you watch online in Delta Force, and when you talk about gear tickets, this is the gun you're usually looking at. Car 15 is well known, it's well used, a lot of people likes it, a lot of YouTuber likes it, a lot of Twitch streamer like it. It is just so good overall. However by design, most people will not consider to use this pretty much in higher tier places like Space City or Burkesh. People go for like expensive guns just because of the gold bullets type issue. But I feel like this is a really good gun for a lot of the regular game modes. If you're doing normal or even easy mode, this gun is just so good. It's very solid and it's very cheap. Let me explain. Here we can see all the different types of AR weapons. And here you can see the car 15. It stands out at 10k. Overall base value, right? If we look at the car, no attachment whatsoever, the stats are really insane. You're looking at control, handling, stability, accuracy. They're all 50s. This is a really sweet spot for many players because when you're in the 50 range, that means your chances are when you're doing PvP, every bullet per bullet, when you shoot from this gun, your chances are that your bullets are gonna definitely land. It's a 50-50. Compared to many other guns, if let's say you have a slower handling, you gotta know that you gotta pre-aim when you're approaching a POI or a fight because you can't just like run out and quickly pull out your gun because you know you could get beamed. But this has a really good handling speed. You know, if you're running and there's someone right in front of you, you guys looked at each other in the eyes romantically. Yeah, and you don't like how he looks at you, just pull this gun out and you're gonna be flying. You probably have the drop on him before he does to you. And not only that, look at the fire rate. The fire rate is pretty solid. It is not as fast nor as slow. This is a perfect gun where you can control very well, and it will not feel like you're using a Vector or MP5, nor would it feel like you're using a very fast AR gun as well, or a very slow DMR. It just feels just right. Have other guns as well that are kind of like the competitors of it, right? We have the M4, the M16A4, and also the AKS. Two major difference, right? I don't like the M16, not because it's a bad gun itself, but it's just you shoots in three bursts, and these three bursts always and always I feel like they're very slow, like clicking this gun or even holding it hard for it to keep shooting, and I don't really like using it. Even though it's very cheap, it just doesn't feel right to me compared to the car 15. It's a three burst gun, and rarely have I won fights with it. It's more has been an issue for me, and I just don't simply vibe with it as much. The AKS is a very good gun. However, the only issue with it is that you actually have to modify it to make it much more controllable. As you can see, the control speed by default is very rough, very rough. You got to get it up to 50. But that just simply means you got to modify it more and you're going to be spending money, and we don't really want to do that. Also, an issue with the AKS, it uses different types of bullet, which is the 545 and 39. And that's why I might as well explain the bullets type as well in this section. So this is going to the AKS. Let's say we're buying blue bullets because that's what we're going for. The AKS, the bullets for it will cost about 564. That is very expensive. That means every here, so a bullet will cost you about 500. Now, if we're going to be buying about 180 bullets for our loadouts, you're roughly looking about 100. So look at the 556. Instantly, we're saving money. Look at the price of it. This is roughly 346. Prices always fluctuate, but trust me, you will always get ammo for this gun at a very cheap rate. We're saving instantly. We're pretty much saving almost 40k of a difference of ammo type. And that's why I picked the blue ones, honestly, because if you're doing zero dam easy, you shouldn't be carrying purples or gold because these get expensive. Unless you're doing rank or something, that's when I recommend these two types of bullets. But since we're not really doing rank, I always go with these blue bullets, and they do perfectly just well. We're gonna be talking about the chest rig. Now, the chest rig, why I went for this blue one compared to a purple or any other type, like I said, we're going for budget. We're going for budget friendly, right? So this is actually the lowest blue chest rig you can get. It costs roughly about 4,700, and I don't know if you guys can see it, but here it is. It costs roughly about 4,755 compared to the other universal one. It's about like 600 coins difference. However, this offers you the blue one offers you 10, and this one offers you only 9. And you know, compared to this other one, there is a 1k difference. So I feel like having one slot for 600 more coins is better than paying in over 1,000. So that's why I went for this cheap blue portable chest rig. It's not bad for its price. Like I say, you get one more additional slot, making it 10. Versatily pretty much okay. Look, most of your slots is already being in use, and sometimes you can even save up space using your healing stuff down here. instead of putting it up here. And I'll talk this later why I put it down here and not up here. Anyways, now let's move on to our surgical kits. You need surgical kits. These are the fastest one that you need in a fight. You can't be using the other cheap ones unless you're in cover. But most of the time when you're in a fight, you trust me, you want to have something that can heal you really quickly. And that's why I use the tactical quick use surgical kits. Now, of course, these are much more expensive than the simple surgical kits. However, I feel like the price is justified for it. The reason why is because it takes less than 7 seconds. Look at that. Less than 7 seconds to activate, while these take 10 seconds. Those small microseconds does matter the most when you need it. So that's why I feel like having these are really effective. It just quickly fixes your broken bones and you can keep moving. PvP fight. Using these bigger healings will take forever if you're damaged more than 40 or 50. These would take probably like 10 to 15 seconds to use. However, enhanced injector always take less than 3 seconds or 4 seconds, and this is really good to get your health up during the fights. I usually carry one or two. It really depends what game mode I'm doing, but usually one is perfectly fine. You're saving money just bringing one, and it's a must. Honestly, it's a must. This is probably the first reason why I have it up here rather than I have it down here, rather than my safe box. Let's say if I die, this fuel first aid can cost much more than the enhanced injector. If we look at the pricing difference, this costs about 13k compared to the enhanced injector. I don't want to lose 13k every single time. However, since a brand new one of these usually has about 250, there is life into it. You don't want to die and give your enemy a brand new healing pack all the time, right? You're gonna give them first aids completely for free every single time, and trust me, people will take it because like, oh, for a brand new first aid, thank you. Trust me, you don't want to be doing that. Always put your big healing down here, or even fixable armor stuff. If you take armor stuff, feel free to put it down here, and usually only use it when the fight is over, right? So when the fight is over, I usually bring it up here or bring it up here and I start using it, or I even leave it in there and start using it during my aftermath of a fight. It keeps me happy at night knowing that I'm not gonna lose a brand new health pack because I lost my fight and I have to buy it again. So I always put this here. Obviously, when you're looting, you're gonna like typically move this up here, put in good stuff here. But let's say if you don't get out off your spawn, at least if you die, you're keeping your health kit with you. That's what I'm trying to say. Usually when you spawn, there's some spawns where you're simply gonna fight people because they're already rushing. So that's why I always put it down here until it's fully safe. I pull it out here and then put a loot in here instead. There will always be a time and place to pop pills. I always tell my teammate, if you hear a gunshot that's in a different POI but it's very close and we're approaching it, start popping pills. These pills takes about 4 seconds to activate, and usually when you pop pills, they take, not only do they take time, but they make noise. So if your enemies are nearby, they can hear you munching on a pill. So popping them these early before a POI, if you know you heard gunshots really close by, so you start popping them immediately. I don't pop these pills randomly like I'm just like walking to a different POI. I don't do that. You only need to pop them when you're about to do PvP, and having these in your bag is really good because if you get shot by a better bullet, they can break your leg or break or break an arm, and then you essentially become immobile. Your character doesn't respond, your character doesn't run, and you can just die like that. However, if you ever get shot by a better bullet, chances are you can just walk out of it or run out of it and restart, reset, fix yourself up, and get ready to engage again. And of course, lastly, we have the backpack. This is a very cheap backpack. It's not very expensive, and let's look at it. This is honestly very optional. I don't really, can't really say it's good or bad, but I typically say it's pretty good overall. Now, the reason why it costs 9k to have it, and it offers you about 16 storage. That is pretty good. Sometimes there'll be game modes where you won't encounter fights at all. Most of the time, when I play on rank easy on Zero Dam, I will encounter people. But that doesn't discourage me to carry this backpack because the more space you have, the better it is to carry it. So that's why I carry this backpack because you never know, you just won't fight at all. You must have a good backpack to carry a lot of stuff. Alright guys, so hopefully this explained why I love using my cheap loadout over and over again because it's just so affordable, and also you can get this gun off of the actual departments. The price is always fixed for it, and a lot of the NPCs have this gun, so you can always find this gun out in the wild and it's actually dirt cheap. Just bringing another car 15 out in the wild because you're saving money. And like I said, it's reliable, it's very cheap. And if I were to give you guys an estimate of how much all of this will cost, and of course you can always fix around with the health. If you don't want to carry if you want to make it even cheaper, you can actually carry a V flag here and your price drop instantly. However, since I have these bigger ones, I typically use this bigger one just because it's more usable. If I get a fight again, I can always use it. It's a little bit much more pricey like that, but like I said, you can always add more or add less, but I always prefer having this setup over the same consistently. Anyways, to give you guys an exact value of this, right, or an estimate, so this itself is 60k. Here's a 60k between these two as well, so they're 120k. Bullets types are 60k, so we're looking at 180k. These healings are usually 7 4 4, so what's that, 7 4 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15 15k. Another 15 is 30, so 30, so we got 30k here. We're doing math backwards now. 30k here, so 60, 120, 180, 30k, 90, 200, 210. So about 210, give or take, maybe less than 250k every single time you're running. And again, you can always save this in a loadout once you use it in game. And as you guys can see, I always have different types of gear sets here, and these are all different gear sets I'm testing. These two I'm testing still, but these are my normal loadouts that I always use. I got easy cheap, so if I'm doing easy mode, I'm always rocking this loadout. Look at it, beautiful. And I also got the normal cheap, where if I'm doing ranked, now these bullets just change. Still the same setup, look. Nothing changes, still the same setup, maybe just the gear sets though. The gears, I'm using a golden helmet and a purple vest, but the easy cheap is obviously blues. But look at that, still mostly the same setup. And that explains how I make millions and millions of this money every single time, just simply by using my set. And like I said, it's less than 200k, even cheaper if you get the stuff out in a while. It's repeatable and you save money. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hit the like and subscribe if you want me to talk more about different builds, or maybe you find something cheaper and you think it's better. But like I said, this is a good cheap set for on rank Zero Dam easy. And also you can even use this on Lively Grove if you want to. Lively Grove or Lively, I don't know how you say it. You can even use that in there. Like I said, I've used this gun over and over in this loadout. It never failed. Usually if I die with this set on like easy mode, it's typically because people are rocking very expensive gears or better bullets. But like I said, you're not gonna cry about it if you die. You just buy it over and go again and loot. Anyways, have a good one, guys. I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.